Hello, my dears. I am back and healthy. Thank you so much for the kind wishes and the speedy recovery. Let's cut to the chase. How do you stop overthinking in love? I'm gonna start off and say that we've all been there. I've definitely been in the position of where I just thought in circles around trying to be the right person or trying to be the most alluring presence for them to want to be around me. However, I think the first bullet point to talk about is letting go of the idea of being the right person for them. It's really easy for us to want to modify ourselves in order for us to be the ideal person we think our crushes want us to be. But that's already so emotionally draining. That's so much mental energy in guessing what that person wants us to be, and then more energy in having to execute being this person, and more energy in having to analyze the aftermath. There's just so many layers of where we are exhausting ourselves. Once I found out what easy love was, which is truly being you, then love got easier. I was realizing that I was making love so much more difficult than it had to be because I was playing this trial and error game. And I'm going to break down some more bullet points as to how to let go of that idea of being your crush's ideal person. Number 1, get your validation from yourself. I think about at a time in life where I would send a text and get super anxious if it was interesting enough for them to respond or want to respond. That poor girl. At the root of that case scenario, I wanted to get validation of, yes, I did a good job of crafting this well-stylized message and it passed the test. It passed the test of being good enough to respond to. But I shouldn't be seeking validation or even my self-worth through the chance of someone texting me back or not. It truly took a lot of time in order for me to find myself. The actions and words that I say come from the soul of myself rather than the perception, judgment, and entertainment for others. There was even a point in time of where I would ask my friend, what should I say? Because I was so insecure and unconfident with my own voice. I was so insecure with my own voice that I thought I needed help. I thought I needed to phone a friend and what I should say, how to respond. But if you find yourself asking your friends for advice in how to message somebody, I think there's a healthy line that you can do that, but there is a much larger side that is unhealthy in the sense that we are confusing the picture that we are painting for this other person and including for ourselves. At what point am I texting the person, or is it a hybrid of 2 people, or if you have a bigger friend group, a hybrid of 5 people putting in their 2 cents on how to speak to a person? That didn't help me in my overthinking cases because whenever my friend wasn't around me, I would hyperfixate even to a larger degree because I was trying to mimic a style I naturally was not creating. So if you ask your friends for advice on how to text somebody, stop doing that. I think we need to be the beholder of our own voices. We need to learn the consequences through our own words. It's easier to divide and share the blame. It felt like it hurt less, but it didn't teach me anything. It didn't bring me a step closer towards being my own person, and it definitely subliminally confused me on what my voice even sounded like. And I've noticed this within a lot of friend groups of, oh my gosh, like, should I text him? Should I not? Should I wait a little bit of time? With the answers that are given from your friends, it shows different principles and morals to the person that you are speaking to. It's going to be confusing not just for them, but for everybody in the group. This should be a conversation held between 2 people, because that's what you 2 are. And then after I got the hang of finding my own voice through different means, then I was able to have a stronger sense of ground when I go through navigating romantic relationships. And what does finding a stronger sense of ground mean? What does it look like to find your own voice? Now, this leads me to the next bullet point of loving yourself. Figure out the characteristics and traits that you admire, whether it be beauty, intelligence, creativity, or style. Name those characteristics, list them all out, and then once you have that list figured out, now it is time for us to take steps towards being that list. I know it seems like we have to have the perfect equipment in order to be better. I need to have this specific book in order to start being smarter. I have to have this specific paint in order to start being an artist. I think these are all limitations and excuses for us to stop taking our steps closer. But even just little ones aren't as painful as we think. There are ways in where we can make small steps closer towards the person we want to be that are pain-free. If anything, I think they're going to be extremely delightful. That's how you know that you're taking the right steps. Because we're supposed to be doing things that we like. We're not supposed to be doing things based off of what other people tell us to do. We are the sum of what we enjoy doing as well as where we place ourselves. And once you mix those two together, I believe that is where confident people come from. A teacher can say that you are the best student I have ever had, but that is still external validation when internally it's going to be you that is the person that needs to know that you are smart when you walk out of that class. So once you get to the point of where you have the list of things that you admire, you can confidently say, I am that. You're golden. There is nothing that anybody can say to you that can break down this strong belief that you have of yourself now. Because at the end of the day, you know the truth. You write your own books. Inevitably, there will be people that try to write over your own writings. However, they write in pencil. Erasing the pencil marks is a skill. These pencil markings aren't the truth. You are not your anxious thoughts. There's a lot of questions that we ask ourselves whenever we are showcasing ourselves to a new person. They are gathering new information and data about us, and for some reason that seems very high stakes to us. But I've noticed that a lot of people ask these questions that start with what if? What if she thinks that I text too fast? What if they think that I text too much? Something that my therapist taught me is that if a thought starts with what if, it's probably going to be an anxious thought. And like I said, we are not our anxious thoughts. I think that our anxious thoughts are the pencil markings, and it is up to us in order to not just erase it, like get it out of sight, out of mind, but to acknowledge it. First, we have to differentiate the two of, is this truth or is this my anxiety? Is this my insecure thoughts? Is this the part of me that fears? Or is it the part of me that I would like to acknowledge and strengthen? If it's something that you don't resonate with, or if it's something that hits you hard for some sort of reason, it might be a good idea to reflect, why did these pencil marks hurt? It's just pencil. But anyways, overthinking in romantic relationships. I'd say at the peak of when I was overthinking in romantic relationships is when my book wasn't even covered in pencil, it was blank. I did not know who I was. I did not know anything about myself. So then whenever I sent a text, I would question, was that witty enough? That lowered my self-worth. Now I send text messages that I send with my whole heart. There are times of where I can question, did that seem clingy? But then, that's a pencil mark upon myself. And then it's up to me as the editor to see, is this gonna stick? And then after some self-reflective thoughts, I take out the eraser and I start erasing. No, you're not. You're just starting conversation. It's really important, I think, in order to delve into yourself and figure out where and which pages you have been marked. It gets even more complicated when you're in a romantic relationship or starting one, because now there's double the circles because there's another person, another entity involved in this. I think questioning yourself is really fun and it's very necessary. It will happen for the rest of your life. I think it's important to practice those tools of erasing the pencil marks, figuring out what is ink, what is truly you, versus what everyone else has to say about you or what small comments that have stuck to you over the years. Yeah, I'd say once you have a better sense of who you are and how to answer these questions for a time of when they come flying at you, when coming into a romantic relationship, you'll know what to do. I hope this video made sense. I have a long list of what everyone wants me to talk about, so please keep them coming, post them down below in the comments, and I wish everybody luck in the journey of love. So I wish you a song that you love so much that you keep playing it on repeat, and a book that you love so much that you can't stop turning the pages. Thank you so much, my romantics, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.